Hey, you guys, grab your tea. Let's sit down and let's chat a little bit. You know me and my English tea, and it's not that late in the day. A little later than normal for me, but I thought I would go for it anyway, right? So good. I wanted to talk to you guys today about seed saving, but not necessarily like seed saving tutorial, although I'm going to show you a few things today. I thought I would talk to you about the things that are going on in the headlines right now. And these, I don't watch the regular news, so this might not be on the regular headlines. I'm not totally sure. But I feel like this has been an ongoing thing for the past couple of years, but it's coming into like a shoot sort of area. And I've been wondering how to talk to you guys about it and wondering how I can inspire positivity, because I don't want to fearmonger. I don't want you guys to see my videos and then feel like, "Oh my gosh, there's not enough time. I can't do anything." I don't ever want you guys to feel like that. I don't ever want you to feel hopeless or helpless or like you missed the boat or anything, because God always makes a way. So I thought I would chat with you guys about the idea that I had, and how you guys could start today, right now. You don't have to wait. You didn't miss the boat. And I am really excited to share this with you. I'm really excited. I always love this time of year. Fall is such a beautiful time of year. While I sit here and chat with you, I'm actually going to be shelling these beans. So I did like a soup bean, a kidney bean, and a black bean trial this year. And it actually, we actually got beans. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm gonna sit here and shell some of these beans. I'll show you when I'm done a little bit closer. But this year, we have had some unusual success in the garden, and I know some of it is because of things that I've implemented that are new, and sort of everything worked together and it all worked out, and I'm very excited to share some of those things with you guys, but it's not quite time yet. I want to make sure I tell you in the right season, or else it will just fall through the cracks, and I want you guys to have success too. So we'll save that for a different video. But some of the success that I've had has actually been, I lost one, because the sun is starting to come around here. Let's see if I can switch a little bit here. Change angles. Yep, I think that's gonna work right there. So some of my success has actually been because we've had such a beautiful prolonged fall. While we haven't really had a whole lot of rainfall, we've had a little bit. It's been so warm. And I know, like, if you're new to my area here in the north, you might think that either this is unusual or that you're just lucky and it's not normally like this. Well, that's not really true, because the first year we moved into this house, it's elk season right now, and all the guys got elk down, and we had to run and go get ice and put all the meat underneath tarps and fans and ice in order to keep them cool, because it was this warm. So this was like 7 years ago or so this happened. So it sort of cycles around. Sometimes it's nice and beautiful and warm like this, and sometimes it's freezing cold. So our nighttime temperatures have still been below freezing, well below freezing, but our daytime temperatures have been in the high 60s and even high 70s, which has just been fantastic. It's been so nice. So anyway, I thought of a way to inspire you guys and to help you. I have been going to the grocery store, so it's been a tough season for me and our family, and I shared that with you in the last video, that this isn't quite how I expected things to go. I'm not going to share details about what's happening right now, but if you're a praying type and you are, send your positive vibes, your prayers, all of that, we really would appreciate it. But I want to keep this channel really uplifting. I want to keep it inspiring and hopeful while being extremely real. So just know that this has been a difficult season, and while yes, we've still been harvesting things out of our garden, I've actually been sharing more of it than we've been eating. And the reason is because all of this stuff, it takes time to prepare and cook good meals, and I have had very low energy lately. So we have found ourselves shopping, not necessarily more at the grocery store, but buying a little bit different things and a little bit more convenience things, I suppose. And I just was kind of sad, like thinking about, we work hard for our money. We work really hard to manage our money well and our resources and our finances. And we go to the grocery store and we spend our money at the grocery store, and we bring the food home, we eat the food, and then we have to go back to the store. And I was just thinking, like, wow, that's so consumer, and how are we going to get out of this cycle? And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was just a low hope moment for me or whatever, but I was just very sad. Oh, I've been harvesting a lot of seeds today. So I have like beans stuck to my back, like the leaves and things, and it's making my nose itch. So I was just thinking, like, how can we break this cycle and what can we do? And so that was last week. And then this week, so today actually, I've been out in my garden. Yesterday I moved a whole bunch of plants into these 2 hoop houses. I've got one here and I have one right next to us. And I'm going to show you guys at the end of this. So don't stop watching, because I'm going to take you and show you a few little things I've been doing. And I'm going to show you some seed saving things. So stick around for that. But I was inspired by our warm weather, and that there are so many things to keep on harvesting out in the garden, and being in the garden is so healing and so reviving and energizing for me. Even the hard work, just, it's not like, it doesn't make me that kind of tired. It makes me feel more inspired to do more. So I was out and I thought, you know what, I should be harvesting some seeds right now. There's so many in the garden. And if you guys didn't catch the video, I took you on a seed tour through my garden, so I'll leave a link for that up in the cards for you. And so I used to save a whole bunch of seeds for my garden. And when we moved to this property, I stopped saving so many seeds because I had so many volunteers that I didn't really need to, and this was our forever home. And so I just was like, oh, I don't need to save seeds. I'll just let them sow, and then I'll just buy the ones that I can't save and it'll be fine. And also, I've been researching and trying to figure out for 7 years now, our garden is 7 years in the making here, and I decided that I should try to figure out the best seeds to grow for our climate. And it's taken me all this time to finally figure out what grows really well here. So I will be sharing that with you guys. If you're in a particular cold spot or a cold climate, I have some serious, like, good cold hardy things, fruits and herbs and flowers and vegetables and all the things, like all of the varieties and stuff I've been working on and trying to grow, and I have finally compiled quite the list, so I'm excited to share that with you. But I was thinking as I was harvesting and saving all these seeds, like these are just some of the bean seeds that are pods that I've saved this year, and I have a whole stack in the shop in the garage, and and so I'll be shelling these. Now I'm not necessarily going to keep these for seeds for next year, although if I absolutely had to use them, I totally would. This one didn't really shell very well. But these are just mostly for eating, and I mean, you can see how many pods it takes to make, look, a cup of soup. So I got to thinking while I was saving the seeds and collecting them and enjoying the sunshine, I got to thinking that's the answer. The answer to the rising inflation, the rising prices, the things that are going on right now, all of the doomsday, like everything is failing, the sky is falling kind of thing. Now, I'm not saying the sky isn't falling. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm also not saying it is. And the reason I am riding that train is because I believe that God always makes a way. 2020 for our family was the most abundant garden year I have ever had up until that point. And we had harvested so much food, it was crazy. And while other people couldn't even go to the grocery store to pick up stuff, like it didn't matter. We had so much food, it was crazy. And it was such an abundant year for foraging and all of that. It was just crazy. And I actually wore myself out harvesting so much food, but we were able to share that, and we were able to open up our farm so people could come here and just get a reprieve from all the fear. And that's kind of the time when our farm really became like a community hub where people feel like they can just come here and hang out, and they'd sit in the garden and they would just hang out with us and not be afraid, and not be afraid of judgment, whatever side of the coin that they were on. And so remembering that and seeing all of the seeds that are in the garden, and having the extended season right now where I still have garden produce, like this garden that I'm sitting in right now is still full of food, and that is so unusual. In fact, I think this is the first time really ever we've had this happen on this farm. And I know like a lot of you live in warmer climates, and that's totally awesome, but it's really challenging up here in the north, especially in a little cold pocket like I'm in, where our season is so short and so limited. I mean, we're talking our first frost normally the last week of August, and this year it was the first week of September. And we've gone through freezing temperatures every single week, every day, for the most part, from the beginning of September until now. So now we're mid-October. And there's still so much food. It's amazing. So it made me think that that's the answer, is that the way that God is making is that there is abundance right now in all of our gardens. I don't know where you are. If you're experiencing an extended warm season, leave it in the comments. Let me know where you are, and if you're having unusually warm weather, or if it's just our local area here. I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't really watch the news, but I'm very interested in this. And not only is it like herbs and medicines and things like that that are super abundant. Whoa, I just flicked a bean really far. I guess we're not gonna, oh, I found it. I see it over there. I'll try to get it when I'm done. So I want to encourage you guys. I know I keep doing this, and I keep on saying like you don't have to buy into the fear-mongering mentality, but that's the truth. Like you don't. And yes, it is crazy inflation right now, but this has happened in history before. I just want to encourage you guys, like, get out in your gardens right now. If you've never saved seeds before, I think it's a really good time to learn. It's not hard. It's actually super fun. I love fall because there's so many treasures to be found. Like, There's nuts and acorns and walnuts. I actually don't live anywhere where there's that kind of thing, but I think if I went somewhere in town, there would probably be them, but I'm not sure about harvesting. Obviously you can't harvest on someone else's property, but maybe I'll make a post. If you're local to me and you have nuts that I can harvest, like acorns and walnuts, I don't know, I doubt you have pecans, but anyway, all the delicious things, leave it in the comments. I'll totally come and pick them for you. It isn't a hard thing to get into, saving seeds. I feel like God made it as like a treasure that you can seek out, and it's super fun. So like everything grows differently. The most challenging part of seed saving is knowing which plants cross with other plants, and so that would make it like you couldn't save those seeds. They wouldn't be true to variety. But as long as you're growing open pollinated heirloom varieties and things like that, even your things that are like hybrids, technically you can save the seed from them, but it's not going to be true to the parent plant. So you just have to know that. So like if it was an emergency situation, save your seeds anyway, plant them anyway, something's going to grow. But I prefer, and I have preferred this for a long time, getting really good quality seeds that are heirloom varieties. They don't always produce as much as like your hybrid varieties, and obviously that's because they are very close to nature and they haven't been messed with as much, and I prefer that. I definitely prefer that. But if you guys are really wanting to get into seed saving, I have this book. It's called Seed to Seed by Suzanne Ashworth, and this is a great book. It is like, I mean, it's a lot of words. There's not very many pictures, okay? And it is very in-depth. Let's just say that, right? Like there are a few pictures, but this book is amazing. I've had it for a long time. I don't even know, like a really long time. Probably 10 years or 11 years. And it's a really great book that tells you all of the different families of plants and which ones will cross and which ones won't cross, how to save them, how to store them. Like if you want to know about seed saving, this is definitely my go-to book. But if you don't want to get that involved in it, then you don't have to. Right now, we are blessed to have the internet at our disposal. I don't know that that's always going to continue. I don't know that it isn't, but for now, it's a reality. So what you can do is just go out to your garden, see the things that are producing seeds right now. So like if you planted radishes and you only planted one variety of radish, then you could look for the little pods and you could save the seeds. Excuse me. If you wanted to know what things are going to cross, like you could just type in a quick Google search and just say, you know, what plants cross-pollinate with, and then whatever plant you were wondering about, like tomatoes, for example. And that would give you a really, really quick rundown on that particular plant. Now, if you're going to be like hardcore saving seeds, I definitely recommend getting the book and having that. And if you are looking at wanting to do in the future, get the book now and put it on your shelf, and that way you have the book. So that is something that we're implementing in our own family. Life is really busy. There's not time to do all the things that I want to do. My to-do list is a mile long. It's been a mile long since we moved into this house, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's about the journey. It's not about the destination, and I will be able to learn skills for the rest of my life, and I'm excited to do that. But we may not always have the internet. We may not always have electricity. We may not always have the ability to run to the grocery store for a 5-minute dinner. We may not always have the ability to purchase whatever books we want. So to me, it makes sense that as I purchase books that are very valuable, that my very favorite recipes, I write them down on cards rather than just always storing them online. That's one of the reasons I do keep a garden journal and notes. I don't necessarily need the seeds right now, but I would rather save them. And then if we can't order seeds for whatever reason, come January, then we are able to have seeds. And if I save enough seeds, then I could share with my friends and my neighbors, because we could grow a lot more. And I would rather be in a position where I can help other people rather than being in panic mode myself. So we are preparing our finances. Currently we're debt free, and I think that's going to be super helpful. So if you're not debt free, I would definitely recommend check out ways to do that. I know Dave Ramsey has an awesome course. We took it in our 20s and we never really looked back. Learn the lessons now, like learn how to cook from scratch if you don't know how already, because even if you don't want to do it every single day, at least you'll be acquiring that skill, so that if something does happen and something goes crazy, then it will be a little bit easier on you. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't want to be caught out and surprised by what is or may not be coming, because we've prepared our pantry, we've planted our garden, we learned how to save seeds and collect seeds and all of those things. So while we are nowhere close to being self-sufficient, we're not even close to that, but I don't really think I don't think being self-sufficient is the goal anyway. I think resilience and building resilience is much more closer to what my goal is. And helping my community and helping build community here right next to us, right in our own little area. Because if we're strong and our community is not strong in a crazy scenario, they're gonna come after what we have. If we focus on building us and community and having a strong community, then there's no reason for them. Like, everybody can work together and no one is panic mode. So I encourage you guys today to start thinking about your own resiliency, your home's resiliency. How can you build resilience? How can you exit the consumer mindset? How can you become a producer? And that's what I wanted to know, is how can I produce food and stop going to the grocery store? Well, this is how right here. We're doing it. Almost every year in the fall, or usually in the winter, we host a seed swap, which is super fun because I get to get different plants and things, seeds that I'm not normally going to purchase for myself. But even if I didn't want any more seeds and I didn't need any, I could just share. And I think that's so fun. It's so fun to grow plants that your friends shared with you that they love and have similar things in your garden. And it's just such a fun thing. So I thought I would show you real quick some of the things I've got going on in this garden in October. Crazy, right? And I will take you and show you a couple of things about seed saving. Does that sound good? You guys want that? Okay. So beans, here's what I've got so far. I've got a white bean, a black bean, and a red bean. I chose these because they're really easy for the different things that we eat. That's the kind of beans we like. And so far they've done really well, and they are a quick growing one. Why, yes, I am wearing a name tag that says Maggie because my daughter wanted me to wear her close to her heart, her close to my heart today, which I thought was so cute. So I still have it on. That's the first thing. Second thing is, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. It helps this video spread to other people, which helps our channel grow. So if you're liking the content, don't forget to do that. So beans, they do cross a little bit if you have them right side by side, which is why I will not be saving these ones. I just want to do a trial, and in order to do that trial with the beans to see which one would grow the best at my farm, I had to grow them side by side in order to give them all a fair shot because of are not limited sunshine because we do have full sun here, but they just needed the most attention. So that's what I gave them. So I am shelling them, and we will probably just use them in soups and things like that through the season. But if I need to have them on my shelf, then I do. So that's awesome. I thought I would show you. So I'm actually going to take you over here real quick. I'm going to show you what is happening in here. So I think last week, maybe the week before, I showed you these little seedlings that I planted. Well, guess what? Look how big they're getting. Look at that guy. We're going to be able to harvest these. How's that? The sun's in my face. Some of these things are getting really close to being able to be harvested, like this mustard green mix that I planted and these radishes. So I got to thinking to myself, it is going to be getting cold. Like, I mean, we could get snow at the end of the month. Technically, we could have gotten snow at the end of September, although I really just like to feel the season and see, like, what do we think? So the projection still for the next 10 days, it's the same weather. So I'm not super worried about it changing dramatically at all. We just went through full moon, so I think we're probably just going to keep riding this out. Based on previous years, I think the rains are going to start rains or snows. You don't know until you see the temperatures, but they usually are here at the end of this month, and so I'm imagining I've got a couple more weeks, and then that's about it. So we've actually been still using our hose to water the animals. That is amazing. I have theories, but I'll save those for another day. Anyway, so I got to thinking about all these little plants growing and the fact that the beets are still here and I don't have any more plastic covers. So I thought, you know what if I took the trellis out and I added another hoop house? So there's my other hoop house, and yes, my stand. So I just took a whole bunch of these little starts out. I just did this yesterday, and I did some weeding. There wasn't that much weeding to do, but I went ahead and put them in here. So I just mixed in, I think, I have some pak choi and some baby bok choy. And so I pricked out some lettuce and spinach and mustard greens and, whatever else I planted, because to be quite honest, I don't remember. Some of them are becoming more obvious as they grow a little bit bigger, but you know, most of the time I don't really care. We're gonna just be eating it. So anyway, so that's what's going on in here. Going on. Yeah, anyway. But I have the celery, so we can use that. I have all these carrots which are being able to be harvested. These beans are still alive. Plus I have the parsnips, which makes me really happy. These carrots are finally starting to be ready to eat. So we've been picking a few small ones. I also have some leeks in there. So this hoop house, I will probably put a thin cover over the top of it for those super cold months, but we should be able to be eating out of there for the whole till next year. That's what I'm hoping. And the greenhouse, I do have some things in the greenhouse as well, but I'll save that for another day. So in this tunnel, everything looks a little bit sad. See? But that's because I just transplanted it. I watered it really well yesterday, but I'm not going to water it today. There should be enough moisture in there. But I think all the lettuce, and I did some more bok choy in there, and spinach, and some very random greens that I don't know what they are, and I moved over some really big kale plants and some parsley. So all of that should continue growing, and I'm really excited because we'll be able to harvest that. So that's kind of what's happening out here. You guys, I can't even believe it. This tomato plant is still alive. It has, seriously, the temperatures have been like 32, below 32, like 29, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, that's crazy that that's still alive. So I have built a little microclimate in this area, and I'm really excited. So I wanted to show you a couple things I've already harvested with some dill seed today. Dill is an easy one if you've planted any dill in your garden. So I've already harvested all the little seeds off here. So you just grab those, prick them off. If they're not quite ripe yet, you can just cut the whole head off and put it upside down in a little baggie, like a brown paper bag, and they will keep just fine. Another thing that I harvested today is this, I put it back here because I want it to reseed. So this is Oric, and while it grows like crazy in my garden, it's like a weed. I don't want to not be able to buy or have seed, and if people can't get seeds, that means that I have something to share. So while I would probably happily give things away, it's also wise to start thinking about tradable goods, and seeds would be a good tradable good. So those are some things that have been on my mind a little bit. It's been on my heart to share with you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this little tour and seed saving look in my garden. I am so excited. This garden makes me happy. Look at all that. It's still alive. But anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed week. I'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining me today. Bells of Ireland seed are simple. Just wait till they're dry and pick them out. Dill is also so easy. It doesn't really cross with anything besides itself. Just pick off the seeds, and here they are. Make sure that they're dry before storing. Sunflower seeds, wait till the back is totally brown or yellow in color, and then hang it to dry and pull the seeds out. If you're gonna save any of your greens, get them covered up before really cold temperatures, and enjoy your fall harvest.